welcome to Lady in Waking. I haven't made very many videos lately and I appreciate your waiting around. Probably will plan to do one long form video per month now just because it's a little bit easier to do the short form videos and they get more views. But for those of you who like a little bit more instruction, a little bit more time taken, then these videos will be for you. This month's video is going to be based on some styles of Ginger Rogers that I wanted to try to accomplish with perm rods. They're not, of course, dead on because her hair was all different lengths and her hair was definitely much thicker and wavier than mine. But I do really like using those photos as an inspiration and seeing what my hair can do in particular circumstances to make it look sort of have a similar aesthetic. The first one was one that I don't know that I would ever wear out, but I have seen this photo kind of floating around. I really like it. It's one that I wanted to kind of see what I could do with as far as my own hair goes, and so you'll see what we were able to accomplish. And the reason that I'm making these videos this month featuring perm rods is because this is one of my very favorite sets to use. Perm rods are super sturdy. They're great for, especially for humid environments, and they really generally hold up really well. Sorry, I'm moving my camera. They generally do hold up really well. That's what we'll be doing today. It's going to be Ginger Rogers ×3, kind of the same way we did the Jane Russell ×3 recently. But yeah, this is a perm rod, just perm rod specific video. I'm like focusing on perm rods this month. And for those of you who don't like the longer form videos, we'll do sort of an edited, stripped down version for the short form format. But I wanted to make sure and at least do one long form video per month because I know there are those of you who still enjoy them. But yeah, enjoy this video. I'm going to do narration over the tutorial portion of it, and then we'll come back and do a quick outro at the end. I'll see you on the other side.
Okay, so starting with damp hair, I used the medium-sized perm rods. Actually, I think these are the second smallest perm rods. I have some medium, some large, and some smaller ones. This is the smaller set. And I've just gone ahead and rolled my hair all over around, like a halo around my ear level, keeping the crown flat. And then my bangs I rolled in small foam rollers because they hold a little better, and I kind of rolled in alternating directions. Once you finish unrolling, just brush it out and just make sure you brush it into a nice fluffy state first, and then you can go through with your hands and sort of brush against your hand to shape it. I don't want to shape it too much though because we're going for a fluffy 1930s curl here. Again, her hair is much shorter in the back, and actually her bang section is longer in that photo, so it's not going to look quite the same, but it will still have the same general aesthetic, hopefully. So after you get the back to your liking, you can actually release the rollers in the front, and then what I'm going to do is just take these curls and sort of pull them down, down, down to make them as long as possible, and I'm taking a little pomade on my fingers and defining these curls so that we just end up with a cluster of curls laying against our forehead. And again, that was something that was done pretty frequently in the 1930s to kind of give you a little bit more of a curly fringe as opposed to a more structured fringe. So the second style, what we're doing is just taking the fringe section and the back section and sort of blending that part so that it's nicely parted in the middle all the way across. And then I'm going to take the curled bangs that I have. Of course, if my bangs were longer, this would look a little more true to form, but I'm actually going to tease those sections and make them a little bit fluffier. And what we're trying to aim for is sort of an arch right on either side of the part so that there is sort of an arch going sort of against the part on each side. And then I'm going to make sure that the back remains just as fluffy. And I wasn't completely happy with the height of that front section, so I actually am brushing it back to give it a little bit more height. And then I'm going to form it and shape it with my fingers, spray it with some hairspray, and then just make sure that it's laying properly all the way around. You can leave it like that, or one of the ways that she wore her hair pretty commonly is she would do those like front arches, and then she would actually move or take a little bit of the side section, just a small section on the side, and pin it back or put it back with side combs. I'm using some small grip tooth side combs, and then I'm actually going to take my brush and sort of shape that into a little bit more of a soft fluff around the back of my ears. So you've got the arch on the top and then the fluffy side sections behind the combs. And then the third style is actually based more on one of her 1940s, late 1940s, early 50s looks, which is basically where I'm going to take those curls, and I actually allowed them to relax a lot. This is several hours later. I put my curls up and I kind of went about my day and then just allowed those curls to relax. And then I'm going to take the top section that I originally had parted in the middle and just brush it straight back, and then I'm pinning it in place. And then I'm taking those two small side combs and once again putting back the side sections and then pushing forward a little bit to give it a little bit more volume on those combs. And then I'm going to take the back and brush it as sleekly as possible. Now these tighter curls are not going to give it quite as much length as what the style was that I was trying to mimic here, but it's still sort of the same aesthetic. And I'm just going to make sure that I kind of comb and lift back that top section just to give it a little bit more volume. I don't like a whole lot of volume, and actually because my hair is fine, a lot of volume ends up looking a little thin on the top. So I'm just brushing it back to give it as much natural volume as possible. And then I am just brushing the back down as sleekly as possible. If I see any kind of parting in the back that I don't like, I'll take my comb and just sort of go over that. Like right there, I saw that the back did not fall exactly right. So I'm just taking my comb and going over it. Now you can see a little crimping from those perm rods. If the crimping bothers you, then by all means just use flexi rods or something without a kind of closure for those top sections, because that will prevent that from showing up. But I'm just kind of keeping this style as sleek as possible and just making sure that it looks nice and clean behind those combs. And I actually was able, because my hair had so much structure from the rollers, I was actually able to take the pin out and just kind of brush it into place instead of keeping that pin in. And then I just spray it. And that is basically it.
So that's it. Very simple. As you saw in the last style, I allowed my hair to relax significantly before I brushed it out, and the curls still stayed around. Wet sets are great that way. You don't even have to use a whole lot of product to make the curl last through a lot of brushing. And I've also I think I'm going to do I think I'll do like a time lapse to show you how long that this set can last, and different styles that you can do over the course of a few days, just because someone has asked me how long this set typically lasts me. If I have plans, like if I'm out on vacation and I want to have a set last a long time and not have to like wash it every day, then I can do like multiple styles over the course of a few days. At home, I don't typically do that. I work out, I do a lot of kind of strenuous activity, and it's not going to hold up here at home. But if I'm out and about and I want on several days, I want the style to last over the several days if I'm doing an event or something, then this is definitely an option. So I'll make a video that shows a time lapse of how this set can hold up over a few days. They're actually surprisingly comfortable to sleep on. I think I mentioned that in my perm rods video that I did recently in my hair curl series. But yeah, they're actually surprisingly comfortable to sleep on. It doesn't seem like they could be, but if you put a chiffon scarf over your head, and they're not that uncomfortable. So I sleep in them. They're actually more comfortable to sleep in than flexi rods, which are my most uncomfortable set to sleep in. So that's something to consider. But I think that's about it. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. Please let me know if you have any specific videos that you would like me to do, just more like centric focused videos like this, because I feel like it's hard to know exactly what people are looking for because the short form format is so popular, and it doesn't feel like you can really learn a lot from short form videos for the most part. So it feels like a lot of times people want to see before and afters more than they want to see anything else. If that's something that you're into, let me know. But we will see you next time. Bye.